Hi, I'm Edison.
DC.
And welcome to Fans Reacts for the last episode of KinnPorsche. Thank you everyone for joining us for the finale. And if you've been watching our reactions regularly, especially a big thank you for keeping up with this humble channel. Just a quick reminder or quick news announcement that we will be having our live this Friday. What's the date?
15th on my time, like the 16th in
15th of July. So come join us. We'll be playing games if we get enough people, and I'll be doing BL themed Quiplash and Drawful, if anybody knows the Jackbox series. But just have a spare screen, like your phone, ready so you can watch us and play at the same time, because you play on a device, an iPad,
or just have a screen and watching us. Because, like, you know, we're just the main show.
No, they get to participate. Isn't that cool?
Why not? Just, like, come in and talk to us.
I'll just come in and talk to us. Maybe we won't be playing games. Maybe we'll just be talking.
Just because we're here. We're
just here.
Just kidding.
We're just here.
It's just like... Oh.
That's the whole stream. This is the whole stream.
that's just the whole stream. Just face, body, face.
Well, yeah, I don't have body, but I have lips. You just go lips.
Oh my god.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay. I didn't think we would become like woke react, but that's just how things have progressed. All I just want to do is have fun. But now I just have I feel like there's a pressure I'm putting on me to be more mindful and speak out about certain things that happen, especially now that sometimes we get comments that are very anti-Vegas P because of the toxic nature of the relationship, and I don't know if I've been saying what should be said because I don't really know how to analyze their relationship. But we'll get to that later. First off, I wanted to take this time to quickly acknowledge the passing of one of the BL reactors on YouTube. I think his name was Matthew, and also known as Lazy Leo on YouTube. Just not gonna pretend that I knew him or watched his videos or followed them. I just do this or the YouTube video because I like the sense of community that it brings in terms of the BL community, and I just feel like after doing YouTube for a bit, I know how much work it takes to put into it and commit to it and grow your channel and put yourself out there, and I guess I just relate to other BL reactors more, and so it just didn't sit right with me if I didn't acknowledge someone's passing within the community. So I just wanted to do that, and I know that some of our watchers would have also watched Lazy Leo. I just happened to be, looking across KinnPorsche reactions to do some research and saw that he had stopped uploading. So I don't know what to say about this situation, but yeah, if anybody wants to let us know how he affected you or wanted to comment on that or talk to us about it, just feel free to do so. Yeah, I'm not a pastor or a death expert, but it just would feel weird for me if I didn't say anything knowing something like that happened. How do I segue from this? Segueing. Okay, let's segue into KinnPorsche. I've been thinking about what to say for the last episode. There has been, I think, just a lot of confusion about where to stand on KinnPorsche. I think I landed ultimately on just being very cautious about celebrating this show or promoting this show extravagantly, because I don't feel like it should be for what it does and for what it claims to do, which is be a different type of BL genre and give us some new visuals and really great directing and cinematography. It has certainly done that. I don't want to take away from its sort of evolutionary journey or the success of Beyond Cloud and what they're trying to do, and I don't want to take away from any of the people there. They have some things that didn't super sit well with me, and so I think potentially there's some, not dangers, but like there could be ramifications. So there just could be things that aren't healthy to promote in the show, obviously. And most pertinent is the softening of the mafia members that are more problematic, like Kin and Vegas. I mean, for example, obviously in episode 4, the whole romanticization of the assault, it's just people, I know a lot of people have gone and said they didn't see it like that, and then further on to say that they rectified it in episodes 5 and 6 by showing the trauma and by showing the apology, but I just don't think it's good enough. Like, they didn't address the issue as assault transparently enough, and so that caused a lot of misinterpretations amongst the community, even if their intent was to show the results of assault and to show it was wrong. I don't think it was clear enough. And the whole scene in the bathroom was that Kin was hurt by Tawan. He wasn't ready to commit to his feelings for Porsche until Porsche said in his state that he remembered the kiss that they had. And since episode 2, I feel like Kin has been softened so much to try and be likable, which led to episode 4, in which it seems like he waited for some kind of permission to initiate his assault scene with Porsche. And how it was directed and how it was written, how softened everything was, romanticized that thing where it led to a lot of the audience to kind of go, wow, isn't this romantic and sweet and even potentially consensual, when it wasn't. And even like the studio kind of did their own PSA on like, hey, this is a drug and you can't consent on this drug. But them knowing that and still doing the scene that they did, it feels even worse to me. Like, they should have known better, it kind of felt like. And then them softening Vegas in the same vein romanticizes his sort of toxic behavior in that, oh hey, isn't it falling in love with someone who's abusive a great narrative, you know? Like, basically. And so when you soften these problematic people to this extent, I think the nuance that maybe they're trying to do got lost in terms of showing the more morally ambiguous stuff. Instead, their goal to me was to make these characters likable and marketable and have a wider appeal to the audience, so that the audience wouldn't hate them, and there was very little risk for that. And this is obviously for the popularity of the show and to ensure the success of the show. You want to be able to root for your couples, but also, you know, they're going on world tour, they're a very big company it seems, and they're going to grow, and I think the results speak for themselves. To me, they've compromised on being a bit more careful about how they portray these more concerning situations in favor of painting a more pleasant character. And so that trade-off, I feel like, compromises on a bit of morality, because even if they're not aware, I feel like they should at least be aware, you know, that the ongoing trope of romanticizing assault has been happening, and they have a bit of a responsibility to lead BL into a different direction as one of the next big players in this scene. And yeah, I feel like they haven't really taken enough consideration into that. On top of that, yeah, the mafia sort of element of the story has been weakened because the characters have been softened, especially Vegas. You know, seeing what he did to Tawan, manipulate him emotionally, make him fall in love with you, ask him to marry you, and then ditch him. That was evil and sinister, which I bought into. But then once he flipped into, oh, my daddy hits me and that's why I need someone to save me, like, then it felt, I don't know, jarring. And so I don't know, the whole Vegas Pete relationship confuses me in how much it sits in reality and how much we can transfer into real life. But I think it goes without saying that it's not a relationship to root for or to not emulate, but like to want to succeed. I think individually, I do want Pete and Vegas to get better and be happy in their own way, but not necessarily through the power of love or through romance or through codependency. I think at most they could be friends and support each other until they're in a better place. Instead of blindly kind of celebrating and promoting and being gaga over the show, we should be having a bit more discussions on their situation and what it means in terms of thieves and bigger picture. And even with the issue of consent, I know we were kind of like, oh, at least Pete sort of consented to Vegas having sex with him. I'm not too sure what to think about it, but I just want to kind of flag that for us right there, just in case Pete is a character of Stockholm Syndrome. Like, I'm not a psychologist. I don't want to kind of declare that theory and say that he does, but if he does, then I don't think people in that situation can consent. I feel like if they wanted to play up the power dynamic a bit more and show that Pete had more power in that situation, instead of him being tied up, he could have tied Vegas up or something. Like, I just think there's a lot of dangerous territory in these BLs once we start empathizing with perpetrators of abuse. So, I don't know. It's hard for me. I don't know which declarative statements to kind of stick to and what to think at this point. And I've just kind of been thinking it through. What the right thing is to sort of land on for KinnPorsche. As I said before, there is a bit of pressure because I was so self-righteous after episode 4 and been so self-righteous and critical of this show. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Of all of the relationships, in my view, the Pete and Vegas one is the most dangerous because it's the most real life. That can happen. And I would push back on the use of Stockholm Syndrome right now because that is a psychological term and we're not like throwing out terms and stuff like that, and we shouldn't be using that because neither one of us are trained and board-fied and recognize that. But abusive relationships like that can take hold, and that person can be like, oh, and I don't talk about it because when I go through this stuff, I say my piece and that's it. Like I said my piece when you can go back and look and say this is bad, especially when you get a person who thinks that, okay, I can fix this person. Okay, if they start abusing me, then it's my fault. And it's unfair to Pete in that position to deal with his trauma, then also deal with them. And I've already said all that kind of stuff. So I think that is a very dangerous relationship because it's sinister because it happens all the time. It really happens all the time. And also, as far as the consent, yeah, I mean, you've talked about that and you've done that, and it always worries me about people who like try and like fudge consent. Oh, there's consent in this. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you fighting so hard against consent? It just always, for me as a personal thing, there have been moments in BL. There have been moments in BL. There was before the pandemic, and then during the pandemic, it got really popular and stuff like that. And then I think that especially there's going to be KinnPorsche is a moment in BL because they're going on world tour and it's so popular and all this other kind of stuff. The problem is especially as someone who's been watching BL before the pandemic and stuff like that, it's not top tier. In my opinion, it's just not top tier BL stuff. But a lot of the stuff that gets popular in whatever genre usually is not the best. It's the most popular. Just because something is the most popular doesn't mean it's the best. I'm not going to deny that it's making an impact and it's being real big with fans who aren't in BL and who are maybe taking another look at BL and getting in there, and then they say, okay, what else is in there? Yes, it does that, but it also does a lot of things wrong. Yes, they put a lot of work in there. Yes, it's stylized. Yes, when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm excited about this because of the stylized and looks and stuff like that. And that's what it does. It does give you stylized, it gives you good violence and things like that. But it's as far as the range of story goes, it's mid. There's holes. There's lack of development for certain characters. There's a lack of development in certain other things. And I know, so there was no development of Perth, and he died. Like, he died. Big died. Like, people die. Like, these are named characters. And I mean, it was a shock that Perth was there, but what was his motivation? We never got that. And people say that, oh, you're criticizing them, you're not recognizing the work that they're putting in. I'm recognizing the work. and they're putting in work and they're doing that, but also it just could be better. Capitalism can kill art. It really does. Capitalism kills art because you're out for that money, and art just gets watered down, and you're trying to make the big bucks. There was a lot of stuff that just didn't happen. Beautiful gowns.
Even with the big and Perth switch, I don't even know what the reason they did for it in terms of changing the traders from the novel, and I can only imagine that it's just to keep or redeem Big's character for the audience so that he's not hated on world tour. Like, that's the only reason I can think of besides them wanting to surprise novel readers. I don't know. What I was thinking was, I forgot to talk about Vegas Pete last episode. The danger definitely is that this relationship is being so softened and shown as this trope, which is like love can save and change this person, and people will go, he wasn't in an abusive relationship because they weren't in a relationship because Vegas was, rightfully torturing him. But then there was the scene where he whipped him over after a confrontation with his dad. Vegas had a fight with his dad and then he lashed out at Pete, and that's sort of the signs of, not that I'm an expert, I really don't want to, but I'm assuming it's very similar to how a domestic abuse situation would work, and it's just when you then go, oh, this is forgivable so easily. And then DC was talking about how I think the danger is how stealthily this can get absorbed into our psyche as a narrative of romance, and we absorb all these narratives from romance tales about what is romantic and what is love. We don't actively think these thoughts. It's just maybe one day we could be in a situation where we go, oh, this person is just misunderstood, or this person, has a background that makes them lash out, and if I love them enough, I can change them. Because Pete did it, and if these stories become examples, they have repercussions and backlash, because in real life things don't get solved as easily. That's why it's kind of dangerous, I feel like, for us all to kind of be promoting and celebrating KinnPorsche when it still does those things covertly, maybe not on purpose, but as a result of their choices that they've done, which is to make the characters more likable. Inadvertently, they've romanticized a toxic situation. They haven't necessarily gone, this is bad, and that's what you kind of expect from these narratives. And it's not assumptive just because it's a mafia BL that so-and-so is bad, because they haven't presented it in such a way. Because narratives always try and tell you something. They have a theme, they have a morale, and they haven't necessarily done that. And so last episode, when Vegas and Pete had a reunion and they were upset, other people were getting emotional over it, which I did not understand, because yes, Pete felt guilty for leaving Vegas. Yes, Vegas felt abandoned. But the real tragedy is that Pete is now starting to become codependent to Vegas for whatever reason, and he can't see past that. The tragedy is that he's now feeling that he's responsible for Vegas's feelings, and now that he's potentially stuck, or he's potentially relegated to being in there when he should be creating distance.
Okay, so the Pete and Vegas thing, they just don't watch this and then get in their mind. But this is one of many signals, especially through societies, where you're saying, stick with your man, stick by your man, stick by your man, over and over and over. Not just in watching somebody watch KinnPorsche and then, oh, Pete and Vegas did it. But this is historically, when you say, okay, well, my grandparents stuck together, or they can see, oh, this couple has been together forever, or we keep seeing this over and over and over. So that you're supposed to stand by your man. It's the onus is on them. That's where it comes from. The whole system saying that, you know what, stay, be abused. You got to work for it. You have to fight for your love. I know people have heard that before. You got to fight for your love and just don't let it go and all this other kind of stuff. How are you going to fight for your love when your love is fighting you and bopping you on the head? Especially when you're in that situation, and then when you get out of that situation, Pete needs a therapist too, because going to therapy can help you make sense of those emotions. Help you make sense of, okay, maybe there was a little bit good, maybe I felt good, but overall this is dangerous, and he's not able to see that. I see Pete as not understanding his emotions, and especially when he's dealing with his emotions by himself, he can't get a real good, clear understanding of what he's feeling and what this is. And also situating that feeling against what happened to him. And that's why you need a therapist. And that's why you need somebody to help pick it apart. Or not even a therapist, someone to talk to. Because he hasn't talked to anybody about it. Because he's kept it all to himself. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Can we watch the episode now?
Okay. No, you're right. Obviously it doesn't like necessarily you watch one show and then snap. You're like, oh, I want this fantasy. It is part of a system, a pattern. Not necessarily saying that this show is going to corrupt everybody, but for us and the channel and our reputation, I want to recognize that the show is perpetuating things that shouldn't be perpetuated. And so as a result, it still is part of a problem, romanticizing toxic ideals that do have real ramifications in life. I don't know. Fight us in the comments. Let's get to watching KinnPorsche.
Don't fight me. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Don't fight me. Fight Edison.
Love DC in the comments.
Edison loves fighting people.
I'm a Libra. Well, you're a Libra, but I need kind of to see the whole picture and kind of dissect and refine my arguments based on the opposing views. I know you don't do the My Briggs things, but for anybody else, I'm an INTP, which means I'm a logician or whatever. It just means I like being logical, which is weird because I also love my horoscopes. And everyone's like, okay.
Usually people who like Myers-Briggs are like, don't believe in horoscope, and people who believe in horoscopes don't believe in Myers-Briggs. It's like...
It's all interconnected. Just people don't see the patterns. That's because they can't. Oh my god, I totally forgot about talking about Porsche, but the funny thing is, people didn't like Porsche last episode for meeting up with Vegas behind Kinn's back. But for me, like, that was the smartest thing Porsche did. It was the only time I liked Porsche, so I think it was funny how we had that reversal. I even forgot about the cousin thing, but I wrote so many comments about that. But yeah, everyone was like, Porsche was whining about trust, and then he goes behind Kinn's back. And I'm like, yeah, he was annoying when he was whining about trust, but then he did the right thing to me. Like, he wants to find out why his parents died, and he's going to do it any means possible. And that's revenge over love. That's my order, revenge, then love.
Vegas does not believe in cotton blend shirts at all.
Okay, Porsche. But Porsche, if any of us were you, we'd be like, why are you trusting Vegas again after he betrayed you? And then why are you trusting him with your best friend, Pete? Like, but even him saying, take care of him. The show wants us to feel that Vegas is now reformed and he's actually going to take care of Pete, you know, which is a miracle change of character. And so with that, he's going to use the trigger of his uncle getting shot to now remember everything that happened to him as a kid, instead of us figuring it out through logic.
But I also think that, which is weird, is that he went to Korn, had the gun to his head.
Oh yeah.
And then said, and then that just, now we're back here. Like, that was the last episode. He had the gun to Korn's head.
Yeah. The first thing I would ask Korn after he said they were sisters is, what are yours adopted, right? Like, that's my major concern. Have I been sleeping with my cousin?
No, but is this after he come back from having the gun to Korn's head?
Oh, before.
Or just before?
Oh, okay, right.
This is the timing is like...
How interesting. I don't know psychologically how this works. But you've lived through your whole life and you haven't had anything trigger your memories.
No, memory is not like, oh, I can always recall stuff. There's trauma. And then certain things surrounding the trauma can either bring it back. It can come back at any time. It cannot come back.
Oh, wait, who are the bodyguards? Aw, he's concerned about his little nephew. Nephew? I just can't be on family trees right now.
Okay, so ah, cause just like
Papa!
he's not even trying to get. We're related. We're blood.
No, she's adopted. Please say she's adopted or someone's adopted. Come on. Okay.
Oh, okay. Foster sister. Oh wow.
Oh, his dad is evil. What truth? Oh.
His brother shot him.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
I knew it. I knew it.
That's your sister's husband. How could you shoot him? I just wanted to quickly say also, what's the point of the cliffhanger of them being cousins if you're gonna like just be like, oh, she was adopted? I just don't like cliffhangers that don't result in anything.
So being a cliffhanger, whatever, blah blah blah. However, that being said, I know a lot of people, even in the Western world, who don't put, okay, that's my half sister, or that's my stepsister, or that's my adopted sister. A lot of people just say, that's my sister, that's my brother, because that's the way they feel. As far as a talking real thing, I can get where he's like, okay, that was my sister. But, and I know you're more concentrated in the story thing and stuff like that, but I'm looking at him as a real person who is just, that's my sister. So
no, yeah, I'm looking at it that they ended at Porsche's face working out that he's just said, your mum was my sister. And that's where they left us off because they wanted to build the suspense around that narrative and to make it juicy.
It's still juicy. It's still his foster sister. That's someone who grew up. That's his sister. There's still closeness there.
Yeah, the relation is interesting, but the fake cousin thing is just kind of like, I didn't really like lead anywhere, which I felt like was what the impact that they were trying to make. Maybe
I'm
not.
glad it didn't leave anywhere because everybody knew, okay, so honestly, I knew it wasn't going to lead anywhere. I hope it wasn't going to lead anywhere. That they were going to be cousins. And then how are they going to continue on the relationship? It's KinnPorsche.
Wait, the uncle?
Yep.
He wasn't blood related?
I told you people just call
that gets confusing.
People uncle. Uncle, what do you mean it gets confusing?
Wait, Court?
Ah, finally he's dead.
That's your purpose in the story? Is just to tell him what happened?
I mean, at least they told him before he died.
Wait, is the mom alive?
No, she took pills and now she's dead.
I missed that.
Tan-kun is the only one who can take care of them.
Kim's
main family.
Kim's also great. Let's not underestimate Kim. Are you serious? Okay, first off, you know when you said that Korn should have shot his brother at the table a few episodes ago, maybe you should have shot him then.
If he would have shot him, it turned out that Vegas wouldn't be as vicious as he is. Because he was being all that viciousness to get his father's approval. I think also with him dead, now with Korn dead, there wouldn't be this like grab from the minor family to the top family because it would be only the dad of the minor family trying to go for the top family. Everything would have been fine. There would be no extended episode.
And so you're leaving a mess for your kids to figure out. Unless Korn faked his death. Because everybody hyped Korn up to be this like master chess player in the comics. And if they killed him off now, it would just be so anticlimactic to any sort of strategic mastermind character, which I really enjoy. Would Daddy fake his own death so the minor family would attack them? I wonder. This is so comedic. What? I feel like this is a caricature of a villain right now.
ว่าไงมีสายรายงานว่าคุณกรณ์ตายแล้วครับถูกวางยาแต่ไม่รู้
Poison.
ฝีมือใครครับ
Oh, interesting. He poisoned himself. Does that mean Daddy Guard gets some screen time now that he's Kin's
คุณท่าน
bodyguard?
จากการโดนวางยา เราต้องรีบหาคนร้ายเร็วที่สุด
Who poisoned him?
ขอให้โชคดีกับสิ่งที่เลือกแล้วกัน
Huh? Choose? Like, choose between the minor and major family? We've never seen these people before. Like, who are y'all?
ผมว่าให้คนที่มีประสบการณ์มากๆอย่างคุณกันเป็นคนเข้าไปเคลียร์เลยดีกว่า
Oh.
เอางั้นเหรอครับ
Are you gonna shoot?
He's a traitor.
He's gonna shoot all the people who disagreed with him. Okay, there we go. That's how ya do it.
Anyone else got a problem? Anyone else up for discussion?
มีใครอยากแนะนำอะไรผมเพิ่มเติมอีกไหมครับ
Oh, are they? They're storming out. You know, the Minor Family's building is really cute. It's a really cute pink building. They really think they can drive up to their well-guarded palace? Oh,
Right.
you brought your son. That's nice. I mean, it shows that you still trust him. Okay, Daddy Guard. All right, look at that suave.
Shut the hell up. Know your place.
Adults are speaking. You would be well advised
Uh-huh.
to turn around and go home.
Oh, his English is a bit steamy.
นะครับถือว่าผมขอ
Like the adult is speaking. That's what I love.
มึงจะทำไม
Don't shoot Daddy Guard. Oh my god. Oh my god, don't kill off Daddy Guard. That's the worst death. Oh my god. Come on. Oh my god. Get out of there, Daddy Guard.
Daddy guy has a
A bulletproof vest? He better have a Kevlar. Yes, Daddy Guard. Yes, Daddy Guard. Oh my god. Oh my god. Roll.
God
Roll
damn.
the heck out.
uh-oh. He's gonna take them all out.
Oh no, Daddy Guard.
He doesn't have a bulletproof vest on his leg.
That's messed up. How could you kill the best character? Oh no, what is he gonna do with his dying breath?
บุกขึ้นไปข้างบนแล้วครับ
I can't believe they got out guns. Look at the, disparity in resources.
Shouldn't smoke. They say this stuff will kill you.
Oh, they're really drawing out Daddy Guard's death.
It'd be so funny if he like goes to inhale and then he's like smoke comes out of his body when he was shot. I would have someone waiting by the door with like just an automatic machine gun as soon as they open up.
Where's Arm? Like, Arm had so many guns at his disposal.
Blood cousin versus blood cousin.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess there's no making it up after this now. Vegas and Kin. Oh, hi, Porsche. Okay. Where did you get this artillery? Oh my god, who is this?
That's the lady from the
The receptionist? Yes, girl!
Yes!
Yes! Oh my god, best character.
แล้วบอกอีกว่าจะกันฆ่าพ่อแม่
Yeah, get your revenge, Porsche. Go, go, go.
ถ้ามึงเชื่อป้ากู มึงก็กลับมาอยู่ข้างตระกูลหลักทำไม
Oh.
เราอยู่คนละข้างกัน
What?
Okay, this is not convincing. Is it? Is it?
กูไม่อยู่ข้างตระกูลหลัก
Oh, okay.
แล้วกูไม่อยู่ข้างตระกูลหรอกแต่กูอยู่ข้างมึง
I'm on my side.
No, he's on. It's
Aw.
love. You know? Love.
Oh.
Oh, they're playing the theme song. Okay, that's cute. Okay.
Okay.
Where's Arm? Where's the receptionist? What happened to Paul? Why there's so many people? What happened to all your people? Oh my god. What is this numbers disadvantage? Why did they have knives all of a sudden? What? I guess they ran out of money for guns? Like, someone save them. Where's Tankun? Where's Pete? Where did they go?
I knew that Kin was a good fighter to begin with, but...
I don't know. This is just unrealistic to me. Like, you are gonna die in this situation.
Nah.
Well, they just got outmatched.
มึงรู้ไหมกูฝันถึงซีนนี้มานานแค่ไหนแล้ว ว่าจะยิงตรงไหนก่อนดี
My god. I can't believe they got out-armied.
หรือหัวใจ
This is...
This better be arm. Oh, it's Tankun, an arm. Y'all are hiding in the basement while everyone's dying. Like,
It's Arm! Arm's like,
here, have all my
geeky bit.
guns, and I'll just drive this car looking for bad guys. Okay, look, I'm glad Arm gets his time to shine.
She's an icon.
Yes,
She's a legend,
receptionist.
and she is the moment.
Go, Erica. Yes, Erica. All right, Erica. Yes. What? We're just in the middle of a war. We don't have time for product placement. Oh my god. Oh, I guess Kim's just looking after his baby at the bar. Wait, are they coming after Kim?
จะจับน้อยพอร์ตเป็นเครื่องต่อรอง
Oh.
แผนโง่ๆอย่างเงี้ยไม่ต้องเดามั้งว่าใครเป็นคน
Wait, what? Why is Kim the only one
Kim.
here? How are they so outmanned that they're having to go one verse like 15?
You just do not watch action movies at all.
In this universe, the major family has so many resources, but they're at a disadvantage, numbers-wise. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's an action movie. We have bad guys, a number of bad guys. You have to go one by one. Just like in Kung Fu movies, too.
I mean, yes, it gives Kim a chance to show off. Why am I expecting realism? Okay, yes, Erica. Oh no, Erica! Far out! Stop killing the good characters. Oh, you have to kill all the good characters, don't you, Uncle? You killed Erica, you killed Daddy Guard. Erica.
Wow!
So rude.
He has to be the evil villain.
He's already done this. You guys could have sent this over an email.
It's because some people just want to be power. Some people want to make it about themselves.
หวังแต่เรื่องผลประโยชน์ พอชมาหาฉันแล้วแกจะปลอดภัย
Now you care about your nephew?
พวกมึงนี่มันโคตรเหี้ยเลยนะ กูกับน้ำพึ่งรู้ความจริงหมดแล้ว
What is the truth? What is the truth?
มึงยังมีหน้ามาบอกให้เมียกูกลับไปอยู่ตระกูลนั้นอีกเหรอวะ
Maybe because his wife
ไม่ได้มาจากบ้านเด็กกำพร้าแต่เป็นเพราะป้าของพวกมึงต่างหากล่ะที่ตามฆ่าล้างโคตรตระกูลน้ำพึ่ง ตอนเนี้ยยังมาตามฆ่าตระกูลของกูอีกงั้นสิ พวกมึงอ่ะมันก็แค่ไอ้สายเลือดสกปรกที่ไม่ยอมรับความจริง
Ooh!
I don't.
Ooh! Ooh!
I don't.
ที่รู้มากไป
Huh?
ไอ้กอนมึงถึงขั้นต้องยิงเลยเหรอวะ
I don't.
รู้สึกยังไงอะพึ่งไอ้กอนมันไม่ได้ตั้งใจอะไอ้กอนไม่ได้ตั้งใจ ไม่ต้องห่วงนะไม่ต้องห่วงเดี๋ยวพี่จะดูแลน้ำพึ่งเอง
I just don't believe what the uncle is saying. You attacked the major family. You just shot Daddy Guard and also Erica. And you're going to explain, like, before you were just like a nice... I'm not buying it. I think that maybe the uncle is also trying to get Porsche to come to the side because there's something more about Porsche. I think that Porsche himself it's probably through the bloodline or something like that. He's the rightful owner of all of that. Like, because if he wasn't the rightful owner through blood, because his mother, there was something special about his mother, and like through some way, Porsche and Porsche are really the valid owners of everything, I think.
Porsche's mother is the princess of the mafia family. They massacred her whole family because she had the royal blood and she was the last descendant of the... I mean, that would make sense if blood meant something in this universe, but we never have seen that.
No, because as far as Korn, he said one of his 3 sons must take over the business from him. No one else could. It just had to be one of the 3 sons. And the whole thing with the uncle, he was like, one of his sons has to take over. So blood does mean something in the universe.
Oh,
You see?
I guess. I'm assuming it's the board who approve these decisions, right? All the branches, are they going to be like, oh, Porsche has the blood. He's not an experienced mafia person, but we respect his lineage, so he's the new head. Is that a threat? I doubt it.
Anything is possible. Anything is really possible.
I don't know, this story. I mean, I feel like that makes the most sense. And obviously, Korn is weaving this story of deceit. If I was Porsche, I wouldn't know who to believe. Like, everyone's a mafia as far as I'm concerned. So it would be more interesting if things were a bit more up in the air in terms of whose narrative is the truth. And I want things to be interesting. So I'm just going to be open-minded just because it leaves up more possibilities. There's more details in the uncle's story. And Korn shot his mum as well. As if you would shoot your sister.
He come out, he's gonna shoot him too.
What problem? They also have children. You haven't killed the children.
He should get like the Oscar nomination for this performance.
For performing in a memory.
มันได้เก็บพวกแก2 คนไว้ มึงรู้ไหมว่ามันพรากชีวิตคนที่กูรักไปกี่คนแล้ว มันทำลายทุกอย่าง มันฆ่าน้ำผึ้งคนที่กูรักมากที่สุด
Your foster sister? Okay, at least I'm still alive.
That was comedy.
I don't like the comedy though. I'm sorry. It ruins the tension. Ruins it!
I like it. Uh-oh. Shoot him.
I kind of want to believe
Shoot him.
Mr. Gunn's story. It would be kind of cool if Korn was the real villain.
Oh, you put your gun down. Bap.
Oh.
Oh, don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't do this.
We know what he's doing.
I don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
What do you mean?
Oh, God. Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
He's gonna let him live somehow, right? But,
yeah.
Okay. Is this...
You're gonna fuck him up. Like...
กูตายวันเนี้ยขอเป็นมึงได้ไหมที่ฆ่ากู กูรักมึงพีท
Have you ever kissed someone who's bloody?
No. Interesting. Distract your opponent with love and then flee. No, that was very smart, Vegas. I guess it's tragic, that they love each other and they're on opposite sides, and Vegas doesn't really care to live anymore, and he'd rather die through the person he loves, I guess. Pete hitting Vegas over and over. I wonder what that was about. Was it him letting out his frustration?
I was afraid he was just going to shoot him and then tell him to go ahead and then just like, okay, get up. I want to protect you. But at least he shows some frustration and some anger towards Vegas.
Is that Korn? He's alive, right? If Korn is still alive, but then he let Daddy God and Erica die, that would be so rude.
What if the mom is still alive? What? Korn's still alive.
He leaked his own death? That's good. The mom is still alive.
The mom is still alive.
Yes! Oh my god. Okay, finally something interesting.
นี่มันอะไรกันอะ
แม่
This is what's going on?
ทำแบบนี้กับน้ำพึ่งมึงทำแบบนี้ได้ยังไง
She's been alive all along.
เพื่อปกป้องน้ำพึ่ง
ไม่จริง
Both these brothers love their foster sister so much.
บอกกูว่าน้ำพึ่งตายแล้ว
มึงอะทำให้กูต้องโกหก
Huh?
มึงจำไม่ได้เหรอวันนั้นที่มึงยิงไอ้พัดตาย
Huh?
เสร็จแล้วเราก็พาน้ำพึ่งกลับบ้าน แล้วมึงก็ย่ำยีน้ำพึ่งจนน้ำพึ่งต้องกินยาฆ่าตัวตาย แต่โชคดี กูยังช่วยไว้ได้ทัน กูถึงต้องปกปิดเรื่องที่น้ำพึ่งยังมีชีวิตอยู่ไว้เป็นความลับไง เพราะถ้ามึงรู้ มึงก็ไม่ปล่อยไว้แน่
มึงทำทุกอย่างเพราะมึงเห็นแก่ตัว
Huh?
มึงโกหกทุกคนไอ้ก้อน
Ooh.
เลิกเสแสร้งได้แล้ว มึงหยุด
มึงอะไรหยุดเพ้อเจ้อได้แล้ว
มึงแค่ต้องการอำนาจที่แท้จริง แต่จริงๆ มึงไม่ได้เลวต่างอะไรกับป้าเลย
Okay.
Okay, Porsche, you have the real memories. Can we get to that?
กับเราทุกคน ก็จะได้รู้ความจริง
Okay.
จะได้รู้ความจริงสักทีว่าน้ำพึ่งเป็น
มึงไม่ต้องห่วงนะเวกัสกับมาเก๊ากูจะดูแลให้เอง
Okay, that's nice.
ไหนว่าความจริงอ่ะ
ฉันทำทุกอย่าง เพื่อปกป้องแก น้องแก แล้วก็แม่แก
From who? From what?
อย่า พอช
Your father is the most manipulative person.
I think that obviously keeping the truth ambiguous, which is interesting. I like that we don't know who to believe, either Korn or Mr. Gunn.
He's dead now.
Right? So now, like, you know, is Korn this ultimate gaslighter? Did he kill all the people who know the truth? Is he really the super big mastermind? Because, like, the uncle's version of events had more details in the conversations and what happened. So I'm open to believing that line of events.
So what I think it was actually a combination of both of their things, because Mr. Gunn did shoot his Porsche's father, but he was taken outside, and that Korn did make and pretend that he shot Porsche's mom, but then he also did take her back. And I think it's like one of those, like, you got to piece it together. And so,
And then he pretended to shoot the children as well with the extra gunshots. They were there to either bring her back into the family or kill them. That was their original plan. And then their dad sounds like a piece of work. It sounded like he massacred a whole family of people.
แต่ป้ารอวันนี้
Oh, really?
ตอนเวลาที่ผ่านมาป้ากลัวว่า ถ้าใครรู้ว่าน้ำพึ่งยังมีชีวิตอยู่ ไอ้กันคงไม่ปล่อยไว้แน่ แล้วป้ากำลังพยายามทำให้พอชอยู่ใกล้แม่เขาเรื่อย
Say all the right things, yes, to make Porsche believe you.
ๆป้าท
Okay. Must be hard because
ำกูอยู่ตรงนี้
Kinn wants to believe his dad, Porsche wants to believe Kinn.
I'm free.
I mean, you still love your dad, so...
Well, I'm gonna go home and process this. It's something you never hear even villains say.
ต่อจากนี้ไปเนี่ยอาแปะจะดูแลแก แล้วก็น้องแกเอง
Okay.
ผมทรยศความรู้สึกตัวเองไม่ได้อีกแล้วครับ
Huh? This is not the right time, Pete.
ผมขอลาออก
I don't know what's going on. Have your epiphany later. Think about it, babe. What?
He's going to go. He decided to go to Vegas.
They're just feelings. Just get rid of them. Like,
ฝากดูมันด้วยนะ
fall in love with someone else.
That's not the way the feelings work.
Yeah, you can just get rid of them. Korn faking his own death, leaking the information, telling nobody that even his own family believed it. For what reason? So that the uncle would attack him, and then so a lot of people would die. He sacrificed his daddy god, he sacrificed Erica, sacrificed so many resources. Just for what reason?
I guess it goes back to playing chess. You ever play chess? You sacrifice pieces because you eventually want to take the king off the board. And you eventually, that's the way you win the game sometimes. You just have to sacrifice your pieces.
Oh my god,
in order
Erica.
to win.
Erica, you're a beautiful pawn.
She was.
The way that Korn led the uncle to the room, he waited for him at the right time so this could happen. I mean, I'm really glad that there's a bigger picture that he is thinking of, and he's kind of the most interesting character now. But yeah, the other thing is with Pete and his feelings. I think Pete beating Vegas up showed that Pete had power again to kind of make his own decisions, and that he was letting out his frustration and anger out on Vegas, and it lessened the abuse that he received from Vegas before, because now it showed that Vegas wasn't fighting back or anything.
I totally disagree with that because a lot of people think that, oh, anger is a powerful emotion. You're in power. You're not in power when you're full of rage. You're actually powerless. And that anger has control over you. And it's not really actually dealing with any of the deep-seated trauma. It's just blind anger. So he was totally powerless in that situation. It wasn't like he gained some power back by that's a misnomer about anger. And in fact, we teach men in toxic masculinity, being angry, that's a powerful, and that's a position of power and stuff like that. However, you're not making any decisions and you're actually powerless. You're actually at your weakest because you're not thinking and not processing any of that kind of stuff. So to say that, and I know people go, oh, that's weird. No, that's not the way that emotions work in the real world. He's still a victim because all that trauma is still having an effect on him, even when he's free. He's still not in control of what he does with his emotion. Vegas still has all the power.
I think it still might be what the story's doing, but that makes sense. The story's trying to level them out, but still.
But he's trying to level out, but it's like, once again, it's not doing it correctly.
Okay.
There's me. I'm left.
I mean, duh.
Oh my god, I was just joking.
Of course you're not joking. What else is he gonna say? What else is this situation leading up to? This is like the only logical storyline left.
Even with this, like, Pete is begging Vegas to like.
มึงกล้าไล่กูเหรอเวกัสแล้วตอนนั้นมึงบอกว่าอยากอยู่กับกูทำไมกูก็ต้องเดินตามหาเจ้าของกูดิเวกัสหันหน้ามาหาหน่อยได้ไหม
Oh, Pete does look like a hedgehog.
The other 99 of them dead.
Oh! Wait, who's that? Okay, well, I did not expect this.
Okay.
I was worried Pete got shot as well, but okay. But did someone shoot Vegas on Korn's orders?
Look, I didn't want. I was kind of feeling iffy about the Pete and Vegas relationship, But I didn't mean kill him. I didn't want he wanted to die. They were like, "Oh, DC didn't like him." They just killed him off. That wasn't like. I mean, there's a healthier way to do that.
Everyone's gonna be like, "Aren't you glad Vegas and Pete are on a thing because Vegas died? Didn't you wish for this?" Like, no,
That was not what I.
we never said this. We didn't want Vegas to die.
Right.
What if Vegas survives? Hmm.
It was like 3 or 4 gunshots. He also gives a shot in the arm.
It would
So-
it just would be so weird for them to kill off one of their most popular characters and one of their couples.
A nameless henchman killed off Vegas. Like,
We don't know if Vegas is dead 100%. I mean, you can survive 4 gunshots if Pete is taking care of you through the power of love.
that's because the power of love. Like, he is.
And there is
That's
there's a second season, so who else is going to be the baddie?
ป้าพยายามรักษาอยู่หลายปี
Okay, so she has partial memory loss. Yay.
So that means Korn could tell her anything.
ตามธรรมเนียมของธีรปัญญากูลตระกูลหลักสามารถแต่งตั้งใครก็ได้ ขึ้นเป็นหัวหน้าของตระกูลรอง หากตระกูลรองเสียชีวิตกระทันหัน
Wow, tradition is important. You were right about tradition.
He's appointing Porsche.
ขึ้นรับตำแหน่งหัวหน้าตระกูลรอง นับจากวันนี้เป็นต้นไป
I see what he's doing. Okay. He's appointing Porsche to the head of the Minor family because he knows that he can control Porsche through Kin. And
You don't want that.
Kin is weak because he's in love, so he can control Kin.
You don't want that. Porsche doesn't want that.
He's
1 month later.
That's Porsche with the Minor family ring.
It is him. He did take it. Okay. All right.
Or what? Or did he not?
Or didn't he not?
Can this show like just tell us what to think properly? Okay, I can get with this. You know, mafia lovers. Interesting.
But what was about Porsche?
Was that a weird shadow? I didn't
But
know.
was that Porsche originally walking into the? Someone's probably going to say it in the comment.
Ah, it was probably showing Porsche's journey instead of
Yeah.
him leaving. That he came in as a bodyguard and now is ascended to head of the Minor family.
But what about Porsche?
He's just accepted that his brother chose to be in a dangerous
So-
occupation to risk his life.
Well, I mean, being the boss, you're not really that much of danger unless you cross somebody. So what about Kim? Is Kim going to show up?
Oh yeah, Kim protected him without even being like, hey. But Kim, does this mean you love him, or did you just steal his song?
He's crying because he doesn't have any rights to it. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess if you take his song and sing it back to him, it means you're sorry for breaking up with him and you want to be back, or like, what's the message? What's the message, Kim? I would be like, what does this mean, Kim? Use your words. I don't understand.
He's using his words, but they're in melody.
So you want to be back together? You want to get back together? You love me? You love me? Huh? Uh-huh. Tucker.
เดี๋ยวพวกมึงคือแล้วเวกัสเป็นไงบ้างมันดีขึ้นแล้ว
He's still alive.
พอดีกูโทรไปให้กำลังใจ
He's,
มันก็เลยอัปเดตเรื่องเวกัสให้ฟัง
Unless he means Vegas is ashes. But Vegas is still alive.
it's a nice suit, though.
เราจะไม่มีตระกูลหลัก ไม่มีตระกูลรอง เพราะเราสองคนเป็นคนคนเดียวกัน
Hmm.
ก็กูเคยบอกไปแล้ว
Hmm.
ว่ากูจะไม่อยู่ข้างตระกูลหลัก
Hmm.
ไม่อยู่ข้างตระกูลรอง
Hmm.
จะอยู่ข้างมึง
Ah, that's what Korn was banking on.
ทั้งหมดของชีวิตกูอะ
ยกให้มึงนะ
I love you
ส่งให้ป้าดูหน่อยดีกว่า ลูกหลัก
Why does he only have one baby picture? You've got 3 sons.
ผู้ชนะเท่านั้นแหละ คือผู้ที่เขียนประวัติศาสตร์
Yeah, alright, the uncle was telling the truth. That's what that means, right?
No, that's history is written by the victors.
Right, it means he's a liar. He admits it.
I think he lied about some stuff, but not all stuff. And now his mom's going to remember it when she sees Porsche. Or is she faking it?
I hope she's faking it. That would be so good. Is her painting representing her 2 sons? Is it like that? That on the nose? 2 birds, my 2 sons.
มาอยู่เป็นครอบครัวเดียวกันอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะครับแม่
I think she may be faking it.
I hope she's faking it. She has to know that these are her legit sons first.
But I don't know if she fake it or not. I don't want to say it.
It could be,
But-
because I feel like she was wanting to believe the situation, but she knew that she had to stay stoic, and that was what that mixed expression was.
ต่อจากนี้ไปอ่ะ มึงไม่ใช่สัตว์เลี้ยงกูแล้วนะ แต่มึงคือคนที่สำคัญที่สุดในชีวิตกู
Mikhail's just casually sleeping.
Still in the room. I can hear you. That.
แหมไม่ทันไรมาต้องเขินมาด้วยนะ
Okay, the season finale. That was the last episode of KinnPorsche season 1. What a really big episode, and I did really enjoy. I think that all the twists and turns that they left in there. The last episode kind of lifted the series a little bit, just in terms of what they were trying to do, and I think the plot is interesting here. And I might have been spoiled by the comments a little bit in terms of like Korn and his role in everything. So from what I see, Korn is the super mastermind who, for whatever reason, the mother is important. Porsche is also important. And I think the Kinn falling in love with Porsche was a side effect to bringing in Porsche, but then he could see how he could control Kinn and both the minor and major families through Porsche. Him faking his death rooted out the traitors and also gave him an opportunity to kill off his brother in a kind of like a surefire way. Yeah, I like the sinister undertone to the relationship in that Porsche will eventually go against the father-in-law, and what does that mean for the relationship, and what does that mean for Kinn? So I do like the potential there, the ambiguity in the truth to what happened with Porsche's dad is really interesting in that Korn knows that he can just tell whatever side of events he wants now. And I like how Korn's identified weaknesses in everybody, and his weakness is kind of the mom as well. I'm just wondering who the real mom of Kinn is and what happened to her, and all those people. But also,
oh no, they're really brothers.
Sometimes my belief is suspended because there are so many instances where Kinn and Porsche could have died during that gunfight. And I feel like in shooters, like one stray bullet ricochets and you're dead. So I don't know how well thought out that plan is. Essentially, I mean, if Porsche or Kinn gets shot at any point, or if Vegas doesn't hesitate, then you're screwed. So it's just hard to sort of like get absorbed in that. And then the other thing with Vegas and Pete, I think in theory, in their fantasy work, it's sweet. It's sweet that Pete finds forgiveness and changes Vegas, and Vegas is changed and softened, and he's a new person. He sees Pete as a, an equal, and they're taking care of each other, and they've evolved and removed from all toxicity. So that's a nice ending for them.
They are equal. Pete is literally taking care of Vegas, and Vegas is not taking care of him.
Well, that's because
Like, they
Vegas
are
is
not
dying.
even.
I mean,
Pete will always be taken care of and attending to Vegas. And that's where they lived it off on, and that seems to be how the relation started, and it's still going, and there is no Vegas taking care of Pete other than like, okay, you can love me, like.
I'm sure he will once he's able-bodied.
Yeah, so he's not. It's just, I don't see any of that. Remember when we joked way back? Well, at least I joked. About maybe how the father is a mastermind. And he just wanted to find a date for his son. He knows he's kind of queer, or gay, but he's going off with all these twinks and stuff like that. But he wants to find him a relationship and settle him down. We were joking about that, but that is kind of the way it went, because Porsche, being part of the minor family, is now, he's like brought him up. Now the organization is basically doubled. So that's very interesting. Like, he did find someone to date his son.
I don't think that was the main reason, because it's hard to predict that, right? I feel like the nephew is the main reason, and then
I think that he was all about trying to get them to, and it's easy to like pull the strings, and people, they're close enough they're always close to each other, and they're just always.
What if Porsche was 100% heterosexual? Like, I just don't think you can predict that.
You can. This is why I was saying we have to watch the whole thing all the way through to the end to see the whole thing, because a lot of comments. If you hate this show, we don't know what it's going to be like. And all of this came out in the last episode. It doesn't make everything else not problematic. Of course, there is a problematic, but you can't get the entirety of the series. It does. Now, this last part doesn't plaster over a lot of the like bad writing and other stuff like that, but it does lift it up to like, okay, this story is a little bit better than what it was, and that's why I always argue for at least watch it all the way through. So you can get the point. I also get what they were trying to do, and some parts they were trying to do something and they fell flat. As far as the action, I just don't think you watch action movies. I just don't think action movies, period, are your soiree or your forte. So I think just the whole action genre is just not your bag, but it is my thing, and so it was believable, especially as far as action goes. So
I think I understand action when it's, when the story goes with it, like if it's a few people uprising against a large whatever, and everyone has the skills to back up the numbers that they're facing. But I think for me, just in gunfights, it's just way too precarious and random as a situation to be able to get out of it 100% all the time, alive. I think there's so many close calls that they could have died, that I think they should have died if it wasn't for that they were the protagonists of the show. I mean, superhero movies are believable, or?
Really?
Yes.
A Man That Flies?
Who? Yes.
I can pick up big stuff.
Because at least things are explained and they follow like some sort of logic of the universe. It puts a damper in a lot of believability, including Cohen's master plan. He put everyone at risk of dying just to, I guess he must have calculated that. He would have just been like, hey, it's cool if my son died, because I'll still have power in the end.
Sometimes you take the whole part about it is like taking a risk. Sometimes it may turn out good, and sometimes it turns out great.
Everything turned out gravy for him. He got to keep his son. He got to marry Porsche. He got to kill his brother, who he probably hopes would have died. Actually,
there's also still that mystery about like his brother, Mr. Bond, was going to say something.
Yeah.
That Corn did not want him to spill out the beans. So there's that secret.
I like how Corn has set everything up, and I like how the plotline is set out so that Corn's shenanigans might come to light. That might put a strain on Porsche's relationship with Kinn, and how potentially everyone else plays into the picture. How would Kim react to this? How would Tang-kun react to this? How they might have to go against their dad, and if Kinn can do that. So yeah, I like the setup. I liked the twists in this episode. I like the mum still being alive. I liked how Erica got some screen time. So yeah, I agree that the last episode elevated things. And as long as we're still aware and talking about problematic elements and just like making sure that we try and stop doing them in the future, that's all we can do here.
You can talk about problematic elements, except like the end point of those problematic elements. Like you can talk about abuse in relationships, and actually it's a very real thing. It should be addressed. But the outcome and how it's seen and how it's viewed, you can talk about sexual assault and stuff like that. It's just the outcome. There wasn't any like kind of firm thing between Kim and Porsche, which was like another couple, the mastermind, the father, and things like that. I'm glad that all that came out at the last episode, because if it would have came out in earlier, it wouldn't have been like a great, reveal.
I liked it, ultimately. I know I criticized it a lot, but I liked it ultimately, so that's weird. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Is there anything that we need to sort of go into? Because I don't know, like the Vegas-Pete relationship, I'm just emotionally at peace with, just because Vegas seems to have reformed to me. So in the narrative, I mean, it doesn't have to be realistic. He's reformed. And his dad is dead, so he'll have no more outbursts. So
he won't have any outbursts. He won't have any new trauma, but he still has that trauma he still needs to work on. It's like, just because you have someone not piling on new trauma doesn't mean that original trauma goes away. It showed Pete still dealing with his trauma from when he was a kid and his dad beat on him. So that is, oh well, Papa's dead, so it is what it is. I'm not gonna like get down on it and do great big platitudes about that relationship. It's over.
Okay. I'll try not to put the pressure on us for being a beacon of morality, because I don't want that role. But also I don't want to be a beacon of immorality. So then what do I do?
End the video.
End the video.
You're like, you don't want to be the beacon of morality. You don't want to be in the beacon of morality. Just end the video.
Yeah.
Because like, it's people usually have the basis of their morality, and this is going to get into a whole bunch of other stuff. You have your basis of morality pretty much set, especially by the time you get to your like 20s and stuff like that. You can like waver a little bit and things like that, but if at this point, I don't think we're going to like change a whole bunch of people's mind. One or two people may be like, okay, I've thought about this, but
Okay.
But this one video alone is not going to do it. There also has to be other points of input to change someone's morality. So.
That's true. Why would anyone be listening to us? Good point. Anyways.
That's not what I said at all, but totally okay.
No. It's what you said. But yeah, people out there, I'm still trying to figure this stuff out and reading opinions. So let us know what you think about the characters, what you liked about the whole series, what you might change, what you thought was problematic, whether you're still rooting for Vegas and Pete, etc. I'll be reading your comments on what you think. Yeah, give us some feedback. You know, we thank you for watching our reactions regardless to KinnPorsche. It was a grand time. I'm glad I stuck through it to the end because I liked the ending. I did. Genuinely. Yeah, like this video, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, please. And we'll see you for our next series next week. I think we're starting vice versa. So yeah, fishy versy. Bye bye.
Vice versa, and then also
Game Boys 2.
Game Boys 2. Game Boys 2 season 2.
I hope it's more than the movie.
Mama.
Oh, Mama Go.
And we're watching Mama Go Go. And so that's like 3 of them right now. So that's a lot.
Yeah. Okay, you're getting a lot of us, so maybe that's it. Yeah. Bye everyone. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.